welcome to Jack Edwards Reserve and the home ground of the Oakleigh Cannons, who are tonight versing the Whittlesea Zebras. Calling the game with me, John Vithulkas. John, a very important game for both teams. Whittlesea Zebras, of course, having a pretty average season so far, but Oakleigh Cannons, their home ground seems to be, they don't have an advantage. They've been having some very average results.
That's very right, Ross. Average results. They played a few away games and they've taken a few points away from this home ground of theirs. But tonight, of course, they'll be looking for another win here at Jack Edwards Reserve. They need the win in order for them to come closer to the top six. Otherwise, things will be getting a lot more tougher in the rest of the league.
And let's have a look at the lineups now. We have in goal, we have Scott Augustine, Felix Rosman, Stelios Dracos, Trent Waterson, Billy Damianos, Jerry Karpu, Ivan Franjic, Dario Metkovic, Scott Webster, Josip Kozik and Juan Nilo. And of course, looking at the Whittlesea Zebras,
with Robert Simeoni in goals, Hayden De Agostino, Sime Kovacevic, Fabio Dillaria, Stefan Piokovski, Steve Martin, Daniel White, Ross Antoniadis, Taxiarchis Apostolikas, Ryan O'Hare and Nicholas Kalabokis, the starting 11 for Ange Postecoglou's side.
And of course Nicholas Kalabokis, they've acquired him from Richmond Eagles, and he certainly did quite well last week. Let's see how he goes. And looking at the ground, John, the conditions are quite okay, even though the ground doesn't look very green, but it certainly looks quite playable.
It's the usual
usual look, isn't it?
That's right, in the middle of winter, of course, but the surface is pretty even and very good to play soccer on. And that's what we're expecting today out of both teams. Whittlesea Zebras, of course, after Ange Postecoglou's taken over the club, Ross, they've been playing a good brand of soccer, but still haven't produced the results.
And talking of results, let's have a look at both teams, how they went last week. Melbourne Knights and Oakleigh Cannons finished in a 0-0 draw. That was a very hard-fought game. And here come Oakleigh. Let's have a look now. And no danger there. And the ball out for a goal kick. And let's have a look at last week. Whittlesea Zebras lost to Hume City by 3-1. So again, a very average season for Whittlesea Zebras. Let's see how they go tonight. And of course, Oakleigh Cannons, as you said, knocking on the door with a win tonight or a positive result tonight. They edge closer to the top 5.
And that's what they will be looking for, a team with so many experienced players. One would expect Ross, Oakleigh Cannons to be a lot higher in this year's league, but they haven't achieved that so far. And like you said earlier on, most of the reason being the negative results that they've brought here in the home ground. But here come Whittlesea.
Home ground, that's right. And talking of experience, Oakleigh Cannons are without the experience of Ricky Diaco due to a back strain, and into the 11 comes Juan Nilo. And of course we know that Juan Nilo is a very, very capable forward and some great skills. So let's see how they go.
Oakleigh clearing that dangerous situation by Whittlesea earlier on, and they're on their counter-attack now. It's a 3-on-3 situation here with Juan Nilo on the ball. He's got some support coming in from Kozic, but cleared away from the Whittlesea Zebras defence. But the ball's still in play for Oakleigh, retaining possession right on the line there, trying to maintain the ball. Is Watterson, Trent Watterson, but Whittlesea Zebras come away with the ball now. Good interception there by Rosman.
The crowd, as we can see, not as big as what we would expect, because Oakleigh Cannons certainly have a very big following here in Oakleigh, in the heart of Oakleigh. Perhaps that's due to the average results they've had here at home, I would think, John. But here comes an opportunity there, but mopped up nicely by
good play from the left-hand side. The ball needed getting to Jerry Harper, who's the man up front for Oakleigh. 4-4-2 formation by John Anastasiadis, from what we can see in these early stages of the game. There's a ball played forward once more.
And here comes 1-0 with a shot, and there it is!
1-0 for the home team.
in the lineup tonight, and there he is. He's put himself on the score sheet, and let's have a look at that again.
Well, Rossa, Juan Nilo, one of the most experienced campaigners here in the Premier League.
And he brought the ball really well down with his chest, waited for the bounce and
the volley, and beating the keeper for
Roberts, of course, couldn't do much with that.
And it was in the corner that he did have covered in a way. So maybe a few question marks for the goalkeeper of Whittlesea Zebras, but Juan Nilo, here he comes again.
Another shot again, and well, John, he was allowed a lot of time there to bring the ball down, and you could possibly ask questions of the defence there. They should have, closed that strike off before it went goal bound. But here they come again. Oakleigh Cannons, a shot from outside, and that was Kozic.
Attempt there. Good start though for Oakleigh. Here's Kozic trying this time.
And he's put a few away from there. Don't you worry about that. Here come Oakleigh again, and they certainly are putting a lot of pressure on Whittlesea at the moment.
Well, they're playing a lot more positive and more attacking type of football here at Jack Oakleigh Reserve.
And this, of course, is the clash of the two coaches, Ange Postacoglu and
John Anastasiadis.
John Anastasiadis, two friends from way back.
Exactly, and Anastasiadis having played under the guidance of
That's
Ange
right.
Postacoglu back in the South Melbourne days. So let's see how they fare tonight at the Oakleigh Cannons home ground. But they're looking more positive, like you said. Oakleigh playing a bit more direct.
Kapu now from outside again.
Good attempt, but straight into the arms of Robert Simeone. No troubles this time.
They're certainly peppering the goal, Oakleigh Cannons, and they might be rewarded with another one. Because you've heard the saying, John, the more chances you create, the more chances of scoring.
That's right. Nilo there having second thoughts about chasing it, but he did manage to make the distance there and get to the ball. Clever back heel, but well intercepted there by the Whittlesea defence. Good play by Whittlesea, taking the ball out of their half. Nearly getting into trouble though, but good play there from O'Hare. Pushing the ball out wide. Bielkowski, a very dangerous move there, and Whittlesea Zebras could have done a lot better there, Ross. The cross coming from Daniel White, it was.
The ball was allowed to bounce, and boy, that was a close one.
They could have done a lot better there on that situation. Whittlesea Zebras missing a great opportunity to come back into this game.
Kapu now looking quite dangerous up forward there, but dispossessed of the ball. Here comes Damianos. Sees a player up forward there, 1-0, but the offside flag, John, you've got to watch that offside.
Well, I think Nilo has to watch it. He's been playing quite deep behind the Whittlesea defence, and that's why he's getting caught offside in certain situations. But here comes Whittlesea again.
That's what the striker should be doing. He should be right close to the stopper there, the last man, to create that little opportunity and give, of course, his midfielders a focal point up in the forward spot. So here we go now.
Agustin, the keeper.
And we hear the whistle for the end of the first half that sees Oakleigh Cannons ahead by 1-0 over Whittlesea Zebras. Don't go away. We'll be back here on the Victorian Football Show with the second half action. Welcome back to Jack Edwards Reserve in the second half of the big clash between Oakleigh Cannons and Whittlesea Zebras. John, recapping the first half, certainly we've got to give the ascendancy there to Oakleigh Cannons. They've created quite a few chances and possibly could have been up by another goal.
Surely Ross, and 1-0 the scorer so far in this game with a well-executed volley just outside the 18-yard box of the Whittlesea Zebras defence. And like you said, Oakleigh having a lot more possession, creating a lot more chances than Whittlesea Zebras, and they are leading here in the home ground for a long time. I'd say that they haven't really made a positive start here in front of their fans, but they have done so tonight, and they're playing a lot more positive, a lot more direct football, like we said.